Well, hey everybody. It's 3 p.m. and it's time for dinner with Nanny Bubby. And we are cooking up a storm today. So happy that you've joined me. Just wanted to let you know that we are finishing up the appetizer that we started yesterday, the herb curl a la creme. My French is not as good as my Spanish. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to plate that and serve that as an appetizer tonight. And I just want to show you, I picked these fabulous, let me turn this around. So let's see, here we go. Look at these radishes. Let me tip this so you can see. Oh my goodness. Do you see these radishes? I picked these radishes about 3 hours ago, right before 12 noon. They just came out of my garden, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to plate these as appetizers. And if we don't eat them all as an appetizer, then I will slice them up, put them in the salad. We're having a nice Italian salad. And look at these San Marzano tomatoes that came off the plant. These are the cherry tomatoes. These are the San Marzanos. So I'm going to taste those San Marzanos for all of you because my San Marzanos last year, were terrible. Hey, Verica Robinson, nice to see you. Who else is here? Lady in Pink. Yes, I am a lady in pink. That is for sure. Those San Marzano tomatoes last year were really bad. And I was told that San Marzanos don't get to tasting good until second season. This is its second season, and these look so gorgeous. I mean, look at how big and beautiful these things are. And I'm going to slice them up and put them in the salad tonight. I'm so excited. Hey, Heather, how are you? And hi, Laura, how are you? Top fan this week. Good to have you. I'm having friends for dinner tonight, my husband and I. And so there's just 5 of us. It's not too big of a dinner for a Tuesday night, but I'm excited to pull it together. And I've been working on it just a little bit since yesterday. You saw me. So let's get cooking, okay? So this is the Coeur a la Creme. You remember that I put it in this large, well, not large, but this long bowl so that it could drain overnight. And believe it or not, this morning, when I looked underneath here, there was quite a bit of liquid that I have since poured out. And I was actually quite surprised. And I think what made the difference is that I covered it with this plastic wrap. So let me drain that out. And I think that under normal circumstances, when I just covered it with a cheesecloth, what happened is it dried out in the refrigerator, so it didn't really drain or evaporate out. So this time I definitely used just the plastic wrap, and I was shocked at how much drainage I got out of this because I'm not used to that happening. So I don't know if that had to do with a lack of humidity this time of year or exactly what it is. So let me just grab a paper towel. Hold on just one moment. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to plate it. Now, I want to tell you, thank you very much. I wanted to tell you that I did have a panic attack when we hung up yesterday when I got off the air with you guys. And I thought I'm going to try to mix salt and pepper into the sieve while in the cheesecloth and see if I could fix it. And I did it, and it worked beautifully. So I was very happy about that. So I was able to add the salt and pepper because I just could not walk away or go to bed last night unless I fixed it. So I did, and I think we're all good. So when you guys see Teresa pop on, you guys can send a little note to her, send a little something in the chat and tell her what we did, or what I did anyway, because I may not see her when she pops on. I don't know if you guys see anybody when they pop on. I always see them, but I'm just not sure that you do. So I'm going to hold this cheesecloth so it doesn't drop out. And I'm going to take the plate and hold it up. And there we go. And whoop, I don't want to pull that off unless you can see it. How's that? There we go. Let me get this over here just a little bit. Okay, and so it's down like this, and now I'm just going to pull up. There we go, and there is a perfect cylindrical creme. It's beautiful, isn't it? And that's the long and short of it. So you saw us make it yesterday. I'm just going to form this a little bit with my hand, move it just slightly to the center. There we go. And there it sits, just all so beautifully. So I'm going to sprinkle this as I said, I'm going to sprinkle it with just a little bit of rock salt. So give me just 1 second. Let me grab this rock salt. This rock salt actually comes from France. Tanya gave it to me, and I love it. And it's so good when you just sprinkle just a slight bit amount just on the top like this. So a little bit of rock salt on top. And we're going to take this little dill. Might be too long. Let's see, I think it is. Let me break that off. I'm going to take this dill and stick it down in the center like that, and then sprinkle a little dill right over the top and a little dill around the plate, just like that. So now I'm going to show you this. Now I'm going to set this back in the refrigerator. Hey, Jennifer Tuttle, nice to see you. Mike Callanan is here. So nice to see you, Mike. You're new. Thanks for joining us. Happy to have you. So this is what it will look like when I put it out for everybody. I will put a spreader in it so people can spread it. And I'm just going to take, again, I'm not going to leave these on here because I don't want them to get soggy. But these are a garlic and herb water cracker. And I'm just going to set these around like that. Can you see that? Just set them around on the outside around this, and then just let people scoop this out and put this onto the water crackers, and we will be good. So I'm going to take this right now. And once these are like this around the herb creme, I'm going to take a little bit of the dill and just kind of sprinkle it around so that you can see it. So I've got a little still left over to sprinkle, and 1 dish down. 2 more to go. So let me turn and get this into the refrigerator. Let me get these crackers off. Just hold on. And next, I'm going to show you how to make schoolgirl radishes, French schoolgirl radishes as an appetizer. It really sounds so exciting, and it's so French to me. I just love it. So let me show you how I do that. Whoop, took off at the wrong thing. Forgot the curly creme. All right, into the refrigerator with the curly creme. Okay, let's make sure that door closes. All closed. Okay, so let me show you how to make these schoolgirl radishes. So there is a tradition in France, maybe more in Paris than in France, that what you do when you come home from school is you eat fresh radishes. And today at about 12 noon, I pulled these beautiful radishes out of Nanny Bubby's garden. Are those gorgeous? I mean, you got to give me a high five. You got to give me something for pulling these things out of the garden. I could not believe my eyes. And they're in such beautiful colors. They're in hot pink and purple and a rosy red. They're just absolutely gorgeous. So let me show you. I'm so excited today. Hey, Mom, how are you? Thanks for joining us. I love it. I got my mom here, my sister here, my best friend comes. It's all great. So this is rock sea salt. Yes, I know, Jennifer. Gorgeous. Oh, my. So if anybody has seen Teresa, let her know that I added salt and pepper to the curly creme. I'll let you guys put it in the chat. So not sure if you can see this or not, but I am taking rock salt, and this is sea salts, natural rock sea salt, and I'm putting that right here on this side. And then for symmetry, I'm going to pour some right over here as well. There we go. Put this back on. This is called real salt, and it does come from Whole Foods in case you want to find it. And then I'm going to take these beautiful radishes, and I'm going to leave as many of the stems on that are not broken because naturally they break, and they just don't look so good. So I'm going to peel these off. Maybe this one, just because you don't really want them to flop around so much. You just want them to look beautiful. And we're going to take the knife that I did have up here, but apparently I've lost. And I'm just going to cut off the very stem of it. And I'm just going to set it right there in the sea salt like that. And so that way, when you go to eat these radishes as a little appetizer, you just pick it up by the stem. It looks so gorgeous. They certainly look at this. Look how beautiful this is. And we'll just take that and just lay that off the plate. So when I set this on the table, um, I thank you, Mom. They're just absolutely beautiful. Welcome home to warmer weather, Marla. Oh my God, yes. Oh my gosh, I could not believe it when I woke up on Sunday morning and looked out that window. And my only thought was, oh my gosh, how are we going to drive out of here? Like I had no clue how we were going to drive out of Park City, Utah, where there was already like 2 inches of snow on the ground when I looked at it, and so I was really panic stricken. And my husband said, "Let's just go back to bed for a while," which he's never said in his life, and let's see what happens when we wake up. Because I woke up at the crack of dawn. Anyway, needless to say, when we woke up, I opened up the drapes and believe it or not, the sun was out and there wasn't an ounce of snow left on the ground. So it went very, very quickly and we got out of town. So that was great. So as you can see, I'm trying to separate these by color, but I'm just going to lay this small one right on top. And let's go for a red one. That's an interesting looking one, isn't it? I don't think there's anything really wrong with that. I think I'm just going to cut off this end. It's interesting. It'll make for good conversation with our friends tonight. And let's see. Pull off again, just pulling off these leaves. Now, this is the thing. This was when you cook, you just really need to use your intuition and your creativity. Two things that I never realized I had in my life until I started cooking. But I'm going to just pull off that one so we don't have a big bush here. So let's lay that nice, beautiful red one here. But I think that what you do is that you think to yourself, you've got to figure your way through certain things as you're working with them and doing them. So when I found this dish and read about it and the French schoolgirl after school snack, what they serve this with is radishes with the leaves still on it. And these radishes are actually, the radish leaves are also very healthy to eat. So if you do grow radishes and you buy radishes, believe it or not, instead of spinach, one of the best things that you can put in your protein drinks in the morning is throw these green radish leaves in it, and it adds an amazing flavor. So don't take them and throw them out. Don't think that they're waste. They're really quite healthy and quite good, and use them in your protein drinks. That's what we do here. And in fact, I will put them in a Ziploc bag and freeze them, and then it makes your smoothie very tasty and frothy and kind of frozen. So look at how beautiful that is. Isn't that gorgeous? So what this dish usually calls for is slices of French bread with an herb butter on the top of the bread. And then what you do is you take a bite of radish and you take a bite of your herb butter on the bread. Well, when I looked at the ingredients for the herbed butter, the exact same herbs that were supposed to be in a butter, which I am happy to make. Hey, Leanne Berger Hunt, nice to see you. Thanks for joining us today. We have some new people here, and I'm awfully thrilled to see all of you. Maruka is here. Hey, Maruka, haven't seen you. She stops in every once in a while. But the same herbs that were supposed to go into the herb butter are the herbs that I put into the Coeur Creme, which is now in the refrigerator. And so what I decided is I'm just going to take the French bread, cut it into slices, lay it in this center piece right here, if you can see, because the rock salt is here and the radishes are here. Both, on both sides of rock salt and the radishes. I'm going to layer the French bread in the middle. And then if my guests want, or if I want, we'll just take a little bit of the slather of the herb creme, put it onto the French bread and eat that with our schoolgirl radishes. So I just improvised a little bit, used some intuition, and there you have it. So why make double herb creme and double herb butter for no reason, right? It would be redundant. So there you go. All right. So now these, we're going to start layering them here. And here, look at this, such a big bunch of leaves. So as I had mentioned, and how many of you, give me a thumbs up if you were here when I finished the Coeur Creme and put it in the refrigerator. If you weren't here, put a question mark, and I'll bring it back out of the refrigerator and show you how I finished that. So we made it yesterday, but it needed 24 hours to drain all the liquid out of it, which we put in. Okay, there's that. We're going to put that right in here. But these are just beautiful. They make me so excited. Okay, isn't it so easy to get me excited? I was not like that when I was in my 20s. My poor husband had to work hard. That didn't come out right, but you know what I mean. Okay. Got to be careful what you say on Facebook, because that honestly didn't come out right. Didn't come out the way I intended. Okay, one more. This is a cute little one. There we go, right over here. And I think I might just take one more red one right out of here and stick it right there. And so there you have it. This is just my appetizer plate. I'm going to take sliced French bread. I'm going to put it right here, and then this will go onto the table. The Creme is right there. Okay, Roseanne wants to see it. I saw the question mark. So let me pull out the Creme just real quickly. I don't want to slice the bread until my guests get here, and our friends are not coming until 5 o'clock. So let me run over to the refrigerator and grab the Creme. I'll show you that. There we go. Okay, so here's the Creme, all finished. It's going to go out onto the table right next to these radishes. Isn't that beautiful? I'll put the French bread right here in the middle. I also have some crackers that are going to go around here, some water crackers that are seasoned with herbs and garlic, more herbs. I have some extra dill that I reserved on the side, and after I put the crackers around, I'm going to sprinkle some dill on the crackers as well, just for color. So there's the herb Creme. Here is the French schoolgirl radishes that look beautiful. Whoever does not eat these on the appetizer table, I'll bring them back in and slice them up and put them in the salad, or save them till tomorrow, because radishes are not going to go bad out of the refrigerator for an hour. And there you go. So let's move on. So let me set this right over here. Now I'm going to start the Brussels sprouts. So if you remember, last week we made homemade gnocchi. We made the lemon mascarpone gnocchi, which was absolutely wonderful. And so today what we're doing is I pulled that gnocchi out of the freezer. I froze it on a cookie sheet and then put it in a plastic bag. And then I took it out of the freezer, put it back on the cookie sheet to defrost. And so I'm going to start by sauteing the Brussels sprouts and browning them in a little bit of olive oil. I also have 6 tablespoons of butter because we're going to make a brown butter sauce with the gnocchi. And I don't think I'm going to make all of it right now, because I'm afraid it's not going to keep for 2 hours. And I want to make it fresh for my guests, which I know you can understand. But I'm going to show you just a little part of that. And I'll make a little and just have a little bit of a little late lunch of the same thing I'm going to be eating for dinner. Oh, here's one more radish that I forgot. Let me get that done. Okay, any questions so far about the Creme? I love it when you guys talk to me, and I love it when you make suggestions, and I love it when you do different things. So by all means, talk to me. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you like. I want you to know that I invited Flo Binger to come and make cocktails with us on Friday. I haven't heard from her yet, but I thought it would be so fun. And, okay. All right. So this oil is heating up. The first thing we're going to do is I have taken all of these Brussels sprouts and I have sliced them in half. And then what I'm going to do into this hot oil is I'm just going to place them in a single layer face down on the flat side, and we are going to brown these. There we go. Whoop. Ouch. That was hot. Okay. Placing them in. Now I'm using this pot. I really should be using a saute pan, but my saute pans are only about 10 inches, and this is 12 inches. The floor of this pot is wide. So I have, even though this is a normal Dutch oven size, the floor is just wider, so it's shorter and wider, which gives me more floor space to saute these. So if I'm going to be sauteing batches of these, I want more floor space to do it in. So that's why I am using this instead of a saute pan. I really have to tell you, I reluctantly started cooking in Le Creuset just a few years ago. But at the end of the day, I would be happy if every pot in my house was Le Creuset. I absolutely love the enamel cast iron. I love especially the white enamel because you can see if you're burning something, you can see colors. If you're browning butter, as an example, like I'm doing here, I can tell when that butter gets brown, whereas if it's in a black cast iron, you can't see it. Hold on just a minute. This needs a little more oil. You can hear it sauteing away. There we go. And so the next thing we're going to do with this, now, and the great thing about a Le Creuset and about an enamel cast iron is that it heats evenly, which is a true benefit. So let me get just a little more oil in there. And we will let that saute around. We're going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. Good thing I didn't forget that. Whoa, that splattered on me. Right in my eye. Woo. Okay, so here we go. There's a little bit of salt. Now the key to browning something like this is to never turn it. Hey, Teresa, there you are. So Teresa, I can see you. I don't know if anybody else can, but after we got off the air yesterday, I took the Creme and I was afraid not to put salt and pepper on it. I put it in the refrigerator and then I pulled it out, and in the sieve, right in the cheesecloth, I put in the salt and the pepper and mixed it around and tasted it, and I was happy that I did it. So just fessing up that I changed my mind yet again as to whether I should add that salt and pepper. So, and it tastes delicious. So I don't know. Hey, Lene, how are you? So nice to have you guys here. Okay, and we're going to put just a little bit of chili pepper in here. Let me just grab a pinch. There we go. Just mix that around. And then while this is doing, there's Roseanne. I made your creme with raspberry Grand Marnier sauce a couple times. My family loves it. I'm looking forward to making the herb version. Oh, it's so delicious. And it's amazing that you can take the same ingredients and either go savory with it, Roseanne, or anybody else, and go sweet with it. And I think that the strawberry Creme, Grand Marnier Creme is to die for. It's just amazing. You're so right. So, okay. So Teresa's up to date now. I don't know if Teresa saw the Creme. So if you didn't, Teresa, let me know. I'll pull it back out of the refrigerator. And I forgot a wooden spoon here, so let me do that. And we are not going to touch this. Deanne Sheehan is here. Whoa, hello, Deanne. Thank you for joining us. We are making gnocchi, an lemon herb gnocchi that we made last week and froze. We all made it together last week on the show. And I'm having guests for dinner tonight. And so I pulled the gnocchi out. I made it last week knowing they were coming so that I would be ahead. And now what we're doing is we are getting some lemon zest, as you can see. And what we're going to do with this lemon zest is we're going to cut it up about 2 teaspoons worth in a different kind of zest. So I'm not zesting it the way that I would normally zest a lemon on the zester, but I'm peeling it and then I'm going to chop it. And I'm just going to sprinkle that in right over the Brussels sprouts. Okay, here's one more. Let's get that. This one's peeling much better. Let's see who else is here. Deanne is here. How are you, Deanne? Can you give us a hello? If you're still there, come say hi to us. So happy that you're here. Okay. Almost zested. And then we're just going to chop this. About 2 teaspoons worth Try not to get down to the white pith because that can be pretty bitter. And sometimes that's why I like using a zester better, because you don't make that kind of mistake. Okay, so here we go. This is looking like it's starting to get a bit brown. Let's pick one up. Let's see, how's that look? Look at that. Can you see that? Okay, all right. This is great. Let me mix these all together. Beautiful, right? Okay, and now we're going to take the zest, and you'd be surprised what we're going to do with it. We're going to just chop it up. Can you guys see that? You can see it just in really thin, long slices. There you go. Reserve some for when I finish making this for my actual guests when they get here. It's always good to try the recipe, a couple times before you have guests. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes my mother used to be one that always said she experimented with company. And I do that sometimes too. But I really do find, like with the Yotam Ottolenghi recipes, they are so complicated. And I needed to master those recipes. And so I have made literally those recipes 5 times. And I really do feel like I have mastered a Mahamara. I really do. And speaking of Yotam Ottolenghi, I am making tomorrow. Well, tomorrow is a different story. I may not make it tomorrow because we've been invited to a VIP seating to see Allegiant Stadium for the Raiders. So I don't know if I'm going to make it back or not, but I will post on Facebook or not. But if I do make it back, what I was planning on doing is Yotam Ottolenghi's eggplant salad. And so tomorrow I'm doing the condiments, which is a lemon paste and marinated chilies. And then Thursday, I was going to actually grill the eggplant and finish it off and show you that. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you guys that. So we're going to take this lemon zest and we are going to take it and sprinkle it. Okay, Deanne said she's working, so she has to go. Love my show. Okay, well, we love you for stopping by. All right, so there we go. We're going to leave this lemon zest here for later when I finish this up. Chop this up one more time. Okay, there we go. All right, so it looks like some of these in the middle are definitely brown, but the ones on the outside need to go in. Get these ones inside. And I think I may take them out with some tongs one by one as they get brown. So let's get these in the middle. They're beautiful, I can tell you that. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, stand by. Stand by, everybody. Here we go. All right. Hoping you can see this. Let me turn this just a little bit so you can see it. Okay. Let's move you in. Okay. So here we go. We'll take them out one by one into this bowl here. There we go. That's nice and brown. Look at this one. Nice and brown. You just don't want them to burn. Another one nice and brown. That one is starting to brown. I think it'll make it. That one, not quite. There we go. There's a golden one. How's this one? Nice and golden. Not quite. That one's good. Look at that. Beautiful, right? There we go. Here's some little ones. That one, not quite yet. That one is nice and beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Okay, let's see how this one is. There we go. Looks like they're almost all there. Not quite as much as the others. Oh, this one, no. No. Yes. Yes. All right. Almost ready. Look at that. Beautiful, right? Okay, and the lemon is part of this, and it's lemon zest is getting sauteed. Let's see. There's another one, and another one, and another one. Nope. The rest of these are still a little green, so let's give them a minute. So as we take these out of the bowl, I'm going to wait just a minute. So here's what I wanted to do. Here's a nice golden one. So we talked about the San Marzano tomatoes that last year they really I was so excited to have San Marzano tomatoes. So excited. And I tasted them. Hey, Frank. And they were terrible. They really were terrible. But here is a fully ripe, isn't that gorgeous? Look at this. A fully ripe San Marzano tomato. It absolutely is the star of the show, isn't it? Isn't that beautiful? And I wanted to taste it for all of you. And let's see if it's true that in the second season and that they're better than the first. So, which way should I cut this? I think I'm going to cut it lengthwise so we can all look inside. So San Marzano tomatoes are well known in Italy. They're supposed to only be made in Italy. Thank you, Lisa. And so real San Marzano tomatoes are only made in San Marzano, Italy. But this is the seed and what they look like. And so I'm going to cut this in half because I don't want to just take a big bite. And I'm so excited. This is the first tomato of the season. So let's see. These are starting to brown. So much better than last season. Oh my God. So good. I'm having the other half. Mm, so good. Okay. All of the Brussels sprouts are out in a separate bowl. Oh my gosh. So let's just do this just really quickly. Let me turn this off just really fast. So these are the cherry tomatoes. These came off the cherry tomato bush and they're so beautiful. And I have a crop like you've never seen. They're unbelievable. But these were delicious last year. So let me tell you, how are these this year? So I'm going to put these in the salad tonight. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh my gosh. These cherry tomatoes are so delicious. Oh my gosh, the cherry tomatoes are actually better tasting than San Marzanos. The San Marzanos are really used for different things. So I think that's why. San Marzanos are made for sauce, made for different things than what we normally use. So we're going to take some unsalted butter and we are going to put it into the pan. Okay, I'm going to use about 2 tablespoons here. There we go. Some of the Brussels sprouts are still in here. So for dinner, I told you that yesterday that I was making um, the halibut with the double tomato uh, topping and the pico de gallo. And so I'm very excited. I tested that yet last week with all of you to see how it would go, and I just thought it was amazing. So we're doing that. So here comes the gnocchi. So now this is defrosted, it's soft, and this homemade gnocchi I'm just going to pour right in. Let me turn the power back up into the butter. You guys see that? I know I hated tomatoes when I was young, but when I grew up, Lisa, I loved them. I know it. And you know, all of our kids hate tomatoes when they're young, except for Liv. Liv used to eat my granddaughter used to eat cherry tomatoes when she was a toddler. She liked them as an after school snack. Harmony and I just could not believe it. Okay, so there we go. Now these are room temperature because I think that they will brown better. There we go. Okay, let's heat this up. Oh, you should smell it. I'm starting to smell um, the mascarpone and the Parmesan that we use to make this gnocchi is just starting to really, really come through. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So the next thing we're going to do is we added the butter, and we're going to add a teaspoon of honey, and we're going to move that around. Let's see if I can take this teaspoon of honey just to add just a little bit of sweetness. There we go, into the pan and into the brown butter. There we go. Now you can see that I know my mouth is watering too. I can't believe I'm going to eat a little bit of this before everybody gets here, but I didn't want to make the whole thing for fear that it would get soggy or cold or, not be great. So I know you guys can understand that, but okay, here we go. And okay. So can you see that bubbling up, and the butter is taking on some of the color of the honey? It's just beautiful, isn't it? So if you don't make your own gnocchi, you really want to use shelf-stable gnocchi, meaning gnocchi that is not frozen, not refrigerated, but gnocchi. Trader Joe's has a shelf-stable gnocchi, and if you don't want to make your own gnocchi. But when everybody saw, oh my God, gnocchi is so easy to make, I'm going to make my own, and everybody really feels that way. Once you experience it, it's just so easy and so fun. So give me a minute, I'll let you watch that. Probably going to sneak another little tomato. Should I sneak a tomato? It was so good. Oh my gosh, no, I'm going to leave it for the guests. Okay, so let's turn these, see if they're getting brown. That's brown, maybe too brown. Let's turn that one, and let's turn that one. There we go. And they're getting crispy. There we go. Let's just get the other side browned. Oh my gosh. So let me move these out of the way, and let's get the other ones. Unfortunately, this pot is uneven temperature, so let me get these moved out. So because it is a saucepan as opposed to a saute pan, and that's why all of the oil and butter went to the side rather than to the middle. There we go. There's another one. There's another one. Just moving these out of the way. This one is completely falling apart. Not sure why. There we go. There we go. That's a good one. There we go. This one is still falling apart on me. It just became a meatball. Okay, let's flip this one over. Two more. You can see them really bubbling away in the butter. And if you fry them in batches, you want to add butter. Okay. So let's just give these another couple minutes. I'm going to turn the fire off. There. What do you think of that? Does that look gorgeous? So what we're going to do as this butter browns now, here's the one that fell apart. It's now just kind of a meatball. It's just a bad looking gnocchi, that one. Okay, so the fire is off, and what we're going to do is we are going to grab these with the butter. Let me hold this so you guys can see. Here we go. Okay, so into the bowl here. Beautiful, right? Okay, now we're going to take the remaining butter, brown butter that is in here. And believe me, wherever this is crisped up and brown, that's where all the flavor is. So we're going to take this and just sprinkle it right on top. Let's see, ow, it's hot. Hold on just a minute. Okay, let me take this. Let me turn the camera so you can see it go in. All right, ready? And into the bowl. There we go. Okay, fire is off. There is the bowl. We're going to sprinkle this now. We're going to toss all the butter around with the Brussels sprouts. There we go. We're going to put just a little bit of Parmesan cheese on this, so hold on. Oh dear. Here we go. Just a little bit of Parmesan, fresh grated Parmesan. This morning I grated it. Remember, it's so easy to do in your food processor. Here we go. Okay. Keep this out now and let it become room temperature for later. And let me get a fork. Oh my gosh. So I am inviting each and every one of you to join me right now. I wish you could. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's get this out and over here. Okay. So I've got a gnocchi right here. Let's just taste that. Oh my gosh, you have no idea. It's so good. And now let me just try that. Another gnocchi with the Brussels sprout. Oh my gosh. Come on now. So good. Thank you, Roseanne. Mm. It's amazing. It's really, really, really good. You can taste the layers of the lemon. You can taste the Parmesan. You can taste the lemon. The mascarpone cheese and the gnocchi. Oh my gosh. Mm. And a little bit of the red pepper. Mm. Absolutely delicious. And one more Brussels sprout just to be sure. Mm. Yes. Delicious. Okay. Hey, Sue Rainish, nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Laura Grouse says yummy. So it really is yummy. It's absolutely above the board. Absolutely yummy. I just wanted to tell you once again that I may or may not make it back tomorrow. I was planning on it, but my husband read the directions of what we're doing tomorrow at Allegiant Stadium with the Raiders. And I don't know if we're going to be able to get out early. It says 11:30 to 2:30. So if I have everything set up, I'll be able to be back here in time. But if they don't let us out or we can't leave before 2:30 because there's a big program going on, then I won't be back. But I will come on live even if we're in the car driving home at 3 o'clock and let you know. But if I am back, I'm planning on making the condiments for the roasted eggplant salad, which include a lemon paste and marinated chilies. So that goes on top of the roasted eggplant salad, and I'm going to roast the eggplant and finish the salad up on Thursday. No interview tomorrow, or Thursday, no interview on Thursday. And then on Friday, it's Cocktail Friday, but I've invited Flo Vinger from Ving Vodka to join us because she's a great guest and always comes with a great amount of energy and a good personality. And she's going to teach us how to make yet another vodka cocktail. So can't wait for that. So that's what's coming up. I'm going to go ahead and finish getting all prepared for my for my guests this evening. My refrigerator keeps opening up, so apparently that platter does not fit in the refrigerator of the Creme. Let me show that to Teresa one last time. And I think I'm going to take this and put this outside in the refrigerator where it fits. There's the Creme. It looks gorgeous, and I can't thank you all enough for joining me. I do this every day all for you. And I do it for me because I love sharing and I love being here, and I'm grateful beyond belief that all of you take the time when you could be doing 100 other things to just tune into, of all places, Facebook. It's not like it's a TV station or a radio station or anything else. I'm just so grateful that you take the time. I look forward to seeing you every day and talking to you. And so many of you I get to see every day, and otherwise I wouldn't see you at all, maybe for years, right? And so thank you. Thank you for taking the time to be here and share what I love so much. And I hope that what I love helps spread love like butter for all of you and gives you ideas about how you can take whatever this is, whatever I do, add your own little slice of heaven into it, and then share it with your family and friends so you can sit and enjoy and spread love like butter. So say it with me on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Go out and, come on, everybody, spread love like butter. Bye, everybody. Thank you for being here. See you tomorrow, I hope. Bye.